All right, job seekers, ready to really dig into something new. You know that feeling, sending out a resume and then crickets?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like you're just tossing it into a void.
Hallie.
So today, we're checking out RoleCatcher, this platform that says it's like your secret weapon for getting hired.
Mm.
And get this, they even say they can help you beat the automated recruiter, which, I gotta be honest, sounds kind of like, I don't know, futuristic almost.
Right.
But anyway, expert speaker, what do you think? Looking at all this, real deal or too good to be true?
You know, it's interesting to me. It's like RoleCatcher gets that the whole process, like the actual applying part, that's what's broken for a lot of people.
Totally.
Not just like, oh, here's another job board. It's the frustration.
Yeah, and so much of it now is, like you were saying, AI.
Exactly.
So this beating the automated recruiter, what does that even mean?
Right.
Like, can you actually outsmart these algorithms?
Well, more and more companies are using them to filter who even gets looked at. And for a lot of job seekers, it's like a total mystery what those things are looking for.
Makes sense.
But RoleCatcher is claiming they can show you the code, so to speak, so at least you know what you're dealing with.
Okay, so less spray and pray, more like, okay, I'm going to be strategic about this.
Exactly.
I like that.
Targeted.
Yeah. Okay, so then they talk about this this plugin, this RoleCatcher.capture thing. What is that?
Okay, so that's their browser extension.
Okay.
So think of it like, your little helper while you're doing your job hunting online.
Right.
So like you're on LinkedIn, Indeed, even just a company's website. You see a job, you can grab it. It lets you organize everything visually instead of having like 50 tabs open or a giant spreadsheet.
That alone, just that organization piece,
I
will
know.
be huge for people.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But they keep mentioning AI. Is that like a marketing thing, or is there actually something to it?
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. They're saying they're using AI to go through job descriptions.
Like really analyze them?
Yeah, and pull out what employers are actually looking for, the skills, the keywords, everything.
Okay.
And then it'll tell you how well your resume matches up.
Wow.
Even gives you suggestions for what to change.
Wait, so it's like having your own little resume editor?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Right.
Oh, I wish I had that when I was like first starting out. Okay, so tell me more. Like,
Yeah.
how does that actually work?
So you upload your resume, right? You tell it what kind of jobs you're interested in, and it goes to work. It's comparing your resume to like thousands of others.
Thousands.
Yeah, for similar jobs. And then it shows you, okay, here's some gaps. Or you might want to beef up this part.
Wow.
They even have a whole section for interview prep.
So it's not even just about finding the jobs. It's about like really helping you get them.
Yeah, like getting you ready for that whole process.
Okay.
And they've got a database of, get this, over 120,000 interview questions.
120,000. Are they serious?
Yeah. Organized by like your career, your experience level, everything.
That's wild.
They say they have stuff for everything. Like even if you're a building exterior cleaner, which is, by the way, a real job.
Wait, hold on. Building exterior cleaner? What is that? Is that like pressure washing graffiti or something?
It's more than that, but yeah,
Okay.
you get the idea. They have really specific stuff for so many different careers.
That's impressive. But I mean, come on. All this detail got to cost something, right?
Well, you're right to be a little skeptical.
Right.
But they do have a free version.
Okay.
And you get their job board, some resume tools, and even those career guides we were talking about, which are super detailed.
Okay, not bad for free.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing the really juicy stuff, like the AI, that's paid.
You got it.
Okay.
So if you want the personalized feedback, the really advanced tools, that's their premium version.
What do they call it? Premium?
They call it RoleCatcher Copilot.
Copilot. Okay, like it's flying you through the job search. Okay. But is it worth it? I mean, what are we talking? Like a monthly thing?
It is a monthly subscription, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right to think about value. So with the free version, you can definitely organize your search better, get those insights from the guides.
Right.
But Copilot is all about personalization. So the AI is looking at your profile, your goals,
Okay.
and giving you much more tailored advice.
So for someone who's like really serious, they know what they want, that extra help could make a difference.
Okay. And what about this Get Discovered feature? What's that? Is that only for the paid folks?
Okay, so that's interesting, and it's for everybody, free and paid.
Oh, okay.
And it's like their answer to that whole, it's who you know.
Oh, right, right.
So if you want, employers who are using RoleCatcher can actually find you
Whoa.
based on what you're good at, your experience.
Well, instead of you, like, desperately trying to get their attention.
Right.
They come to you.
Exactly.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
But, okay, let's play devil's advocate here for a second. Are there any downsides to using something like RoleCatcher?
That's a great question. One thing that comes to mind is if you're relying too much on what the AI is telling you to do,
Right.
you might lose your own voice a little, you know?
That's a good point. It's easy to get caught up in, like, pleasing the algorithm
Totally.
and forget that there's, like, an actual human on the other side.
Exactly. And while RoleCatcher is clearly built for how we apply for jobs now,
Right.
technology changes so fast.
That's true.
What works today might not work tomorrow.
So you got to be ready to adapt, not just rely on one thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so RoleCatcher could be a great tool,
Mm-hmm.
but it's one piece of the puzzle.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
You've still got to network, work on your skills, all that stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, we've covered a lot about what RoleCatcher can do.
We have.
But before we wrap up this part of the deep dive, one last thing. What about, like, the human side of all this? I mean, can an app really replace actually talking to people face to face?
I mean, that's the big question, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, tech can make it easier to connect with people, but it can't be the only way.
Yeah, like RoleCatcher can analyze how you answer interview questions,
Right.
but it can't replace, like, actual charisma, when you really click with someone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that saying, tech might get you in the door,
Right.
but it's your personality that keeps you there.
Yeah.
So how does RoleCatcher handle that, especially like networking?
Okay, so that's smart because they actually really focus on that. They have stuff built in to, like, help you organize who you know. Even.
How interesting.
Track, like, when you talk to someone and even find connections you might not realize you have.
Within your own network.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
It's about using your network better, not just replacing it.
Right, because that's what I was going to ask. Are they saying, like, forget meeting people, but it sounds like
no.
they get it.
They get it.
Okay, that's good to know.
Because in the end, no matter how fancy the AI gets, getting hired is still about connecting with another person.
Absolutely. Okay, so we talked about what RoleCatcher can do, but was there anything they talked about, any features that surprised you, good or bad?
One thing that stood out to me was how much they're into career exploration, not just job searching.
Oh, interesting.
Like helping you figure out what you're good at, what kind of careers are out there.
So it's not just for people who, like, need a new job right now.
Exactly. It could be for someone who's like, I'm just starting out. What do I even do?
Yeah, right.
Or I feel stuck. What else is there? They even have a whole thing about salaries, which is so helpful,
Knowing your worth, yes.
Yeah.
I wish I had that back in the day. But, okay, realistically, not everyone has time to learn a whole new platform.
Oh, for sure.
Especially if you're already stressed about job searching. So for someone who's short on time, maybe a little skeptical,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you'd say about RoleCatcher?
I would say even if you just use the free stuff, like those career guides or the job board, you're still coming out ahead. It's like work smarter, not harder, right?
I love that. I love that phrase. Okay, so last thing. We talked about how RoleCatcher can get you that next job, but what about long term? Do they have anything for, like, your whole career, not just one job?
Yeah, that's key because you're right. It's not just about, like, that next paycheck, right? You want a career you actually like.
For sure.
And I think RoleCatcher gets that because they actually built in features for, like, learning and improving your skills.
So it's not just, okay, use us once and you're done. They're thinking bigger picture.
Yeah, like, they have these tools for seeing what you're good at, what you could learn. Even tracking your progress. So it's almost like having your own career coach.
I like that. Someone in your corner helping you level up. It's nice to see that because so much of this stuff is, like, focused on that immediate get a job now.
Totally.
But they're saying, no, we want you to build a whole career.
Right. It's about you being the best you can be.
I love that. Okay, so for our listeners, if they're like, all right, sign me up, no more job search misery, where do they start?
Honestly, I'd say just try the free version first.
Okay.
Check out those career guides, see how their job board works for you, get a feel for it, and then if you're liking it, that's when you see about Copilot.
Makes sense. So try before you buy, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what, even with all the fancy tech,
Mm-hmm.
it really comes down to you, your skills, your experience.
Totally.
You got to bring that to the table.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Okay, so to wrap up this deep dive on RoleCatcher, if our listeners only remember one thing, what should it be?
Don't let job searching get you down, okay? It's tough out there, but RoleCatcher can make it less painful. They give you the tools, but you're the one in control. You decide where you want to go.
Will said. Tech is great. But you got to be you, be confident, and never stop learning.
Right.
All right, until next time, everyone, happy job hunting.